Very good morning. Hope you're doing well. SSI snapshots and the S&P on the daily. So I think we might come down to test our level again. It's 3912. Only so much as that, we could probably come down for a bounce potentially and see how we're quite consolidating as well. We've got a double top, just going sideways basically on the daily. So we'd want to break out of that level and then we can get to all-time highs, but we're currently within this range. So potentially down here, and it might, induce more bears. And then if it does, then we can bounce using them as like a leverage to bounce higher. If they're bearish, we should, be coming up, but we can see we're quite sideways. So it kind of makes me think we might come down because we're sideways. But if we look at the smaller time frame, we can see how they're slightly going long. Can you see? And now by going long, it should be pushing price down. And so you can see how we've got like a curvature. And so if they sell it, then we can make a buy, but we'd want the lines to come down together. And but you can see how we've got a curvature. So there's the buy here because we had the crossover. So we had buy here and we will sell here. As you can see, we've got the crossover. So hopefully that's clear. And we're going to potentially have a crossover for a buy. So be careful. But you can see how they're going long over time. So they might continue to go long. So we haven't got the crossover yet. But if we do, it could be a buy. But you'd want to be careful and obviously keep an eye on that level there, 3990. We are breaching 4,000. And don't forget the round numbers can attract a lot of punters as well. They'll go into the casino and see that and think, oh, right, okay, that looks like a good sell or that looks like a good buy because they love their round numbers. So be careful there. We haven't got the crossover yet, but it's possible. US 30 sideways, really, to be honest. Remember, if they go long, we'll fall. And we are just sideways. There's not much to comment on there. I'd be really careful with this because this moves a hell of a lot. And if you're not careful, you can do a lot of damage as well. I see markets, their minimum lot size is actually quite serious because you can't do a micro lot on it. Well, you think you're doing a micro lot, but because it's calculated differently, you can actually do a lot of damage. So you can have a 0.01 and it actually, when it moves, like say down here, that's actually quite a lot. Whereas the 0.01 on the S&P is calculated differently. It's because of the decimal places on the Dow Jones. We've got 5 numbers there. You've got 4 numbers there you're dealing with. So be careful if you're thinking about trading this because it moves a hell of a lot more than the S&P, even on a micro lot. So you've got to be careful. Could be coming down to that support. And it's a possible scenario. We haven't had the buy. It looked like we were going to have a buy, but we got sideways, and it might even just continue to go sideways. So there's the buy there. We had the crossover. So we're looking for a strong move through the moving average, okay, and that's a strong move. So that's the buy there, okay. And here we're just sideways. So that's that. DAX, well, they've gone long. Well, they went long here, so we created a box. Right, so went long here, resistance. Went long again, resistance, and went long, and then they went long. So they're going long quite a lot, and then they've gone long again. So I think we might have to come down to punish them. However, if they sell this spike, this dump, sorry, then we might potentially get on a buy crossover. So we want to be careful. But they are going long on this, like they're going long on the S&P. Gold, that level there, 1925. So they've gone long. So we should be creating a resistance zone. So they did get paid a little bit here, came down a bit, and this is going to be moving to do with the yields as well. So if you're trading gold, keep an eye on your US yields. We were looking at this yesterday, and all the yields were strongly positive, and then the 30-year yield was the first one to crumble. And when it did, the gold had a little bit of a momentum, a booster. Then the 20-year, then the 10-year, then the 5-year, then the 2-year all collapsed. And when those yields collapsed, we had a big pump on gold. So you want to keep an eye on those US yields. and they can help you with forecasting as well. And we're quite strong technically. Sentimentally, we're a buy. However, we probably could argue we've taken out a lot of stops, and we have to remember the COT data was quite bullish as well. So maybe 1925 for a short, but you'd want to be careful because the big picture we are buy 31%. All right, Euro. So chopping sideways consolidation. So they went long. So we've got resistance zone, and they went long again, but then they sold. So them going long. Let's have a look. They got paid a bit. They shorted here. Yeah, they shorted here, and then they got paid a little bit, and then they continued to sell it. So this is a little ruse. That's like a trap. They made a big bounce, and up we come to punish them. So this was quite naughty yesterday. Very difficult when it does that. It's quite hard to forecast what they're going to do. And if they go long, which they might continue to do so because they've gone long here. If they continue, then we'll fall. So that's that. Okay, so be careful. We are buy at the big picture, but if they go long, then we'll make a sell. But it'll be a risky sell because we're below 50%. Okay, dollar yen. That's fine, I guess. Very sideways, so it's probably going to have to move one way or the other just to change the sentiment. Note we're within this horrible, huge range. And it's kind of hard to draw a box for resistance or support. So they went long here. So we should be below 130.08. And we are just currently. That's where they've gone long. So that's the last notable box that we can create is the crossover. And it's corresponding to this candle here. So that's how you can use it. So we should be below 130.08. This probably is okay, and it might just need to really move in order to flush out these retail traders for 49%. So 50-50. It's basically a roulette, isn't it? So be really careful. And it's a light calendar today, which is nice. And I'll do a Patreon video now. So trade safely. I'll speak to you soon.